Listen up, everyone.
Turn it up a little bit.
We making noise, holla.
If you haven't checked out the Hip Hop Study Hall podcast, here's what you've been missing.
Let's talk Kanye West right now, right? Kanye West and Kim Kardashian are, for lack of a better term, Kim has asked for a divorce.
Right.
From what I'm hearing right now, Kanye's doing everything not to grant her divorce. Look, here's what's crazy about it. Kanye's doing everything not to grant her a divorce, but dating women that look like her while also telling her, I want to get my family back together. Like, it's the most confusing thing ever. It's like a gigantic group text that I'm trying my best to get out of, but every time I hit mute or something, the iPhone's not working out and I keep being in the message. It doesn't matter. Like, I keep being there, right? So what I wanted to ask you about the Kanye thing, because a lot of women have come on, line and started to speak about this part, right? Like, Kanye has done so much publicly, right? He's talked to her about the kids online. He's talked about Pete Davidson online. He's threatened Pete Davidson. He's done all kinds of things. And then he even went online one day and said, my phone has not been hacked, holding a sign that says it's me making these text messages, right? And I'm getting to my point, people, I promise. And then the latest thing I saw was he was filing a motion to not allow his social media or things that he said on social media to be able to be admitted in his divorce proceedings. Some of the women that I saw in the comments, some of the things that they were saying, and even some posts were saying, if Kanye West were anybody else, if he were me, DJ Eakin, I got a couple of thousand. I ain't got billions though. I got a couple of thousand, right? I would be locked up for harassment. There'd be a restraining order. There would be something going on. So my question is Kanye actually committing a crime, or because maybe Kim hasn't filed something that it's okay for him to get away with all this stuff, even in front of the world?
Yeah. So, and dude, you've done a great job today making me feel really old. Okay. I haven't been following Kanye as closely. I don't know what drill rap is. And the videos that you sent me today, I had to go to my office, the people in my office, and go, I need you to help me out and break down for me what the heck is going on here. I'm going to be 40 this year. I'm not that old. I'm still in my 30s, and man.
Dude, your Blazer game is on point, dude, like a 27-year-old, dude. Like 27 to 35, that Blazer game is, you go to any of those gatherings, and they'd be like, whoa, bro. So you're doing okay, bro. You're doing okay.
We're going to have to hang out, and you're going to have to kind of get me back in the loop.
Dude, we're right there. We're going to go to some gatherings, dude. We're going to go.
There we go. So, on the Kanye thing, right? Number one, I'm kind of surprised that it's not over yet, that there wasn't a prenup. I mean, typically you would have a prenuptial agreement, especially with two people with such not diverse backgrounds, but real extensive backgrounds in terms of both very wealthy, right?
Right.
So both bringing a lot of assets into the marriage. You would think there'd be a prenup, which a prenup is just a fancy way of saying it's a contract.
Right.
And both sides are saying, if we leave, you get this, I get this, and we go our separate ways. Right. It should be a relatively quick process. I mean, someone was telling me recently about a celebrity one, about, couple, 2-3 weeks, done. Right. Because the prenup was ironclad. Right. Now, Kanye's a little crazy. Right. I mean, so to try to make some sense of what the heck he's doing.
Right.
But nothing that you said there necessarily raises to the level of being a crime. He may be being an idiot. He may not be being a good guy. Right. And I think there's a difference there. Now, look, what you put on social media, and I talk to clients about this all the time, right? And I have them sign off that they won't post anything about their incident at all the entire time.
Right.
Well, they never listen, right?
Right.
But at least in Florida, all of that's discoverable. You can get all of that information. So when we're in a lawsuit and a divorce proceeding is just a lawsuit. They, in family law, they change the names around a little bit. So you have a divorce proceeding versus a lawsuit, but it's the same thing, right?
Right.
And so you can go get that. You've made it public. So, and what the courts have said is, even if you've made your profile private, everything in there is accessible. So you can use that in court against somebody else, right?
Boom.
Now, the thing is, and the biggest question in all of this is California a no fault? And I think they're in California, right?
Right.
So, and assuming they got, and I guess to take a step back, it's not necessarily where they live, although it partially may matter where they live. Where they're domiciled is the official legal term for it, right? So it's where you were married. Okay. So if they were married in Florida, but then have lived in California, for example, for the requisite amount of time, usually about 6 months. Okay, then it would go on then the divorce would happen in California under California law. Otherwise, it would come back here to Florida, even if they technically live in California.
Right.
Okay. But I think California might be a no-fault state like Florida. So Florida's a no-fault state in terms of car accidents, but also divorce too. And it doesn't matter what you do, right? It doesn't matter what you say. Doesn't matter who you do at any point in time. Even if it was during the marriage, even if a person walks in on you,
right?
It doesn't matter. It is straight up, these are the assets. This is the money. These are the items that belong to the marriage. You get half and you get half. And that's it. Now, you can fight over child custody and the timing, and maybe if there's some items that may or may not be marital, what's called marital assets, right? That, hey, you have an inheritance from somebody dying, so that's yours and not the spouse's.
Right.
But everything else, split 50-50. And then even childcare is, there's a little bit of wiggle room, but it's, the idea is to get, as much as, pretty close to 50-50. And then child support is just a straight up worksheet. And it's person makes this, the liabilities are this, and this is the amount of child sharing. And it's really simple. But I mean, they're heavily contested.
Right. And it did seem, I thought it would be fairly quick too, because in the beginning, it's like she got the house, whoop-de-whoop, whatever was going on, and she got certain things, and then all of a sudden he bought a house across the street or something. It's just been so many things that have gone on in that thing that, and she's gone to court and asked to go back to her maiden name because she wants to be declared as single and all this other stuff. So it was just so many things that, but the public, and when I watched the public chime in or people chime in, and that was one of the questions, like I said, I saw a lot of females in particular start to say stuff like, we're watching a woman go through, harassment and be, abused, mentally abused and stuff like that right in front of our eyes. And we're commenting and laughing and that sort of thing. But this is abuse, and so that's what made me want to ask you, like, how far, is it, well, not saying it's okay, like you said, but in law terms.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know of a court granting an injunction, just at least off the top of my head, and from the legal side and from the law enforcement side, granting an injunction to stop communication just based on verbal, right? And I can't imagine that Kanye West is necessarily going deep enough to make it that way, right? To be instilling enough fear verbally. Right, and I haven't seen what he said, right? So I'll put that caveat.
Let me stop you there at that part, because there has been a part where now she's dating Pete Davidson, which you said I'm still catching you up on all this stuff. Pete Davidson is a guy. He's one of the Saturday Night Live
I know who
regulars.
Pete Davidson is.
Okay, there you go. So
I'm not that old. I'm old, but not that old.
Well, we're keeping up, right?
Hold on. How is Pete Davidson? How has that happened?
Let me tell you something. Pete Davidson not only had her, he had Ariana Grande. Pete Davidson has had some winners, and you know what females are telling me? Pete Davidson makes chicks laugh. He's simple. And the word I got that why Kim may be attracted to him is because it's simple. It doesn't come with the chaos that is Kanye. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just simple. Like, just probably make me laugh. I just got simple stuff. It's like, yes, this other stuff is chaos. Even though to me, I think the Kardashians cause half the chaos that go on with them. Like, they schedule photographers to be somewhere where they are to get on the blog. This sort of thing and that sort of, that. But that it just might be as simple as that. Like, Pete's a fun dude, you know? And sometimes I think, my sisters have told me this, that sometimes the most beautiful woman, the simple guy gets her because he just approaches her normal. Whereas, a lot of other guys be like, I got to do this, I got to do that, because she's just that fine. And then you mess everything up in the process, because she's so turned off because it's not been simple with anybody. And the simple guy comes up and just be like, yeah, your dress is all right. I know it's worth like $6 million, but your dress is, and she's like, nobody's ever said that to me. Take my pants off. I'm sorry. So not where we should be. But so
anyway, so Kanye said it got so bad, the stuff that Kanye was saying about Pete Davidson online, and like even the new video he put out with the game, it's called Easy. From what I understand, there's a part in the video where he buries Pete Davidson, like kills him and buries him. But it got so bad, whatever he was doing, the going after him online, that Kim wrote him, and Kanye put this text message out to everybody and said, you gotta stop, because what's gonna happen is somebody that follows you or is so enamored with you and into this Kanye wave is gonna do something to Pete when he's somewhere. And you just never know when a fan's gonna do something, right? Pete's somewhere doing whatever. He calls him Skeet. So all this stuff has been going on that involves Pete Davidson. Okay. So he's been doing all of that. So there's been threats against Pete, and and then Kanye came back and said,
okay, I'm telling everybody, don't do nothing to Pete Davidson. I don't want that to happen. So there's been things like that said. I don't know what that means when it comes to the law, but
you see, you end up walking this really fine line, right? Especially when we're talking about essentially artistry in a video, right? Yeah. Right. Is it probably wrong to make a video of you burying somebody? But couldn't you? I mean, look, you're involved in the hip hop game, right, and everything else. Couldn't you also make the argument that it's artistry, and that you're using your First Amendment right to, visually depict something that you're not truly wishing death upon that person,
right?
But you're using it for some other symbolism.
Boom.
There's the legal side, right? That's the really simple, everyday person breakdown of the legal side.
And that's what I want, because all this other stuff makes it hairy, right? So
right.
The legal side is what I like. I said, the comments are crazy. I mean, you're not old enough that you don't know what's going on social media. You just don't read it all day and then caught in it like I may happen to be for hours at a time. Stop playing. Don't forget, man, hit that subscribe button right now so you can catch all the updates and all the haps here at Hip Hop Study Hall. All right, it's your man DJ Eakin. I see you. Subscribe. Hit it now.